Ready?
I'm ready.
Channel 79, we're going to start. Good evening. We have a regularly scheduled meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. We're going to follow the agenda as is posted on the door. We will, if you have a cell phone on you, please mute it. If you're going to speak on a matter, please step up to the podium, state your name for the record. We will deliberate after the public hearings is closed. If you want to stay for the deliberations, you're more than welcome, but you cannot speak during that portion of the meeting. With that said, calendar number 3, 2019. The application of PB Architects on behalf of Anna and Achille Bentino. Good evening. Go ahead.
Okay, good evening. My name is Jacek Bigoshinsky, PB Architects, and with me are the owners, Gary, that's Achilles, Gary Bettino and Ann Bettino, and their daughter, Rita. So what we're proposing to do is fill in, and you see here on the site plan, this is the red highlighted here. For two reasons. One is the existing house has a one-car garage, and we'd like to turn it into a two-car garage. And the way this is going to be done is by filling in this red portion of the building. There's a bigger addition here, but this part does not require a variance, okay?
So there's nothing there right now where that little red square is?
No. The existing garage sort of is L-shaped.
Yeah.
It's only one car. And you pull in here in the back, and you drive like this from here, okay? So our plan is to fill in this piece, and also a little bit here just for a mudroom extension. This part does not require variance. This is as of right. It's behind the setback line. And then what we're going to do is take this driveway, the existing driveway, and we're actually going to remove it from here and place it on this side. And so you'll be actually driving in from here, and there will be a two-car garage, right, which would be now, regulation in terms of the size, 9 by 20, two parking spots, two cars being basically parking here now from the front. So you just, again, we'll take this driveway out, replace this one. It's basically a swap in terms of impervious surface. And
I'm sorry, did you say impervious surface? What
we're going to take this driveway out,
yeah,
right? And we're going to place a new driveway on this side, but it's basically a swap in terms of the impervious surface. They're very similar in this.
So it's going to be pavement.
Right, it's going to be paved.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
There is a plan that you have there for drainage design.
Yeah.
The other part of the project, so this is the garage part, okay?
While you're talking about the garage, can you talk about the elevation of the garage?
Yes.
Are you raising the roof line of the garage?
Yes.
Above the height of the one-story garage?
Yes, and this is purely aesthetic. There is no finished space above the garage. There is none right now, and you can sort of, if you turn to, let's see, page A5 in my architectural. So you see
showing here the line, the roof line difference between the existing garage and the proposed garage.
Right.
Just so you know, all of that then, just to be clear, is additional volume in the setback.
I understand that, right.
Okay.
And so, yes, there is this portion here which requires a variance. So in the notice, we're asking for variance basically on the 6.8 feet because of that. But
But
again,
you're not coming any, although that's true,
we're not
just
coming
for the
any
record, you're
closer.
not coming any closer.
No, we're not. No.
So it's just additional volume over what's existing.
Right. Just to make that roof, just sort of continue and fill in, because again, right now as it is, it's L-shaped, and this part here is a gable, and this is a gable. It's a smaller gable.
So above the ceiling joist in the garage is about how much space?
How much will be there space?
Not living space.
No, it's not livable space.
It's not livable.
Right, it's just a storage, maybe a pull-down stair. It's not accessible from the house.
Okay.
Okay, so, yeah, just like any kind of a garage.
Okay.
That's the way it is right now, there's no finished space there, and that's just the way it's going to remain.
So what is the hardship that would justify the additional, let's just focus on the garage space. What's the hardship that would justify the variance for the additional garage space?
Well, we think that it has to do with the configuration of the land and the way, it's a corner lot. We have two setbacks here on this side and that side. The lot is actually getting more narrow as it goes closer to the corner. And the way the garage is situated, it's already here. There was a variance granted way back. And I think, so it's really the shape of the land, and it's already the proximity of the garage to the setback, which, to the side yard, which is already there, so all we're really doing is just going up. And it does, we think, make sense to get basically another car out of the area and remove this driveway here in the back, which I think is going to create a nicer yard in the back and so on.
But I'm still, even if, when you talk about two corner lots and two front yard setbacks, a lot of times people argue that and say, well, had it been a rear yard setback, you'd only require 10 or 15 feet. I mean, even side yard setbacks, 6 feet is tight.
Right. No, I understand that. The garage is already there. It's already, has been approved. It's non-conforming as it is. We're not making the situation any more non-conforming because we're not coming any closer to the road other than the roof. If that is a change, if that's one of the volumes that, you as a commission would object to that, we're happy to leave this as it is. I'm not sure it's going to look nice. I can make it work with the existing roof lines, so I wouldn't even have to touch that part.
So the setback on the northerly side, that's
6.8,
considered,
yeah.
but that's considered a front yard,
Yes, that's a
Okay,
front
so-
yard setback.
and the front yard is 30 feet.
Right.
And I thought you said that little square, that little pink square, didn't require a variance, but it's within
This one
30 feet.
does. This one does. What's behind it, the
Oh,
yellow line here that you see, that's the actual side yard.
all right,
or the
okay.
front yard setback.
All right, so
And
then-
here and here.
So the structure that you're gonna build there, where that little
15.
square is, that
Right.
you need a variance for that too?
Right, that's
I
correct.
gotcha, okay. And what's that little triangular
The
thing?
triangular piece, I was going to get to that, that's actually the building going straight up. So as it is right now, it's a cape. And it has 2 bedrooms up there. What we would like to do is go straight up. So that little triangular piece would require variance on the second floor. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Kind of up there.
What exactly are you keeping on the first floor? Are the walls being kept and things like that?
Yes, we're keeping the whole building as it is, the existing footprint.
Yeah,
On the garage part, we're keeping the walls because they're already there. What we're going to do is add this piece and then reframe the roof just to make it, change the gable. Just again, pure aesthetics. We're not gaining anything by it. Again, this portion of the variance is only for the garage. It's not really for any livable space.
Mhm.
And we think it's a good enhancement, it gets one more car off the street into the garage. And moving the driveway, which by the way, we checked with DPW, they don't have a problem with that. Moving the driveway here closer this way allows for them to, enjoy the yard, and adjacent neighbors, I actually happened to talk to them, the Vassis, they're very happy with that because that obviously takes out this driveway literally off their backyard, because the way their house is, it's on the other corner. And, their yard is facing this yard, so it would be great if we can get rid of this this driveway.
Okay, so tell us about the other.
The other
triangular
portion?
piece. Yeah.
Yeah, so the other portion, this triangular sliver is, again, the house, that's the way the house sits. I don't think there was a variance for that. I think that's just the way the house happened to be constructed. And so our plan is to keep the existing footprint and just go straight up. Basically adding a full second floor and an attic. Obviously, we conform with coverage, we conform with height, and et cetera. And so that's this triangular piece here.
And at the closest point is 26.2 feet, and you're maintaining that.
Yes,
Is that
well, the
correct?
26.2, that's correct. That's the, to the building. There
And
is a
you're-
chimney there, which is also marked at 25.5.
But you're not coming any closer to that, if we talk about the structure
Right.
as opposed to the chimney, you're not coming any closer
No.
on that side.
No, we're not changing the footprint. We're utilizing the existing footprint, and we're strictly going straight
And then
up.
how high a house is this gonna be?
2.5 stories.
20,
2.5, so what feet? You're not asking for a height variance,
no, we're not. No, it's under 20, I think it's 2910, something like that.
so it's close though.
It is close. Well,
So you're adding but by doing that, you're adding a significant amount of volume in the
oh
setback.
no, I'm sorry. The
No.
height is 28 feet, 28.08. It's not maximized.
I don't see it that way. I mean, it's only the sliver.
Yeah. And that's the volume, right.
Where
It's
you-
that sliver going up,
Up, yes.
Yeah, it would be like a pie shape. So if you look at the same elevation here,
yes.
what we're talking about is this, is this
Right.
part of the roof, which is
Right.
the additional volume.
Where are you gonna put the AC unit?
The AC unit is going to be moved. Currently, it's actually in violation because
Right.
it's in the, over here. And we're going to move it over here, which is going to be behind the setback.
Oh, I see, okay, so that would be
Okay.
compliant,
Right.
okay.
So we're not asking for a variance for that.
Woody, why is the application 21 feet 4 inches in lieu of 30? Because this looks like it's 26.2 to the corner.
I think we actually have 25
There's a 25.5 to the chimney.
might be.
Is the chimney.
That might be the chimney or the eave, one of the.
Yeah, there is a chimney. 25.5 is to the chimney. 26.2 is to the corner of the building.
So, but
So
the,
I just picked up the closest feature of the new volume.
Okay. And way back when, Woody, this was actually a side yard?
It looks that way.
With
in a
10-foot setback,
In a prior application, somehow they considered this
with a side yard?
front over there and side on the longer length of Patricia.
oh, so it was, the previous variance was 6.8 in lieu of 10?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Very strange, but
They don't
they
define
consider
things
that a
way
side
anymore.
yard.
Okay,
Well, that was in 1953, though,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah,
I mean, that was,
okay.
If I could though, follow up on Vic's question, because it is important, the parts that are gonna be preserved, so far I think we got the whole footprint of the existing house. Well, what does that really mean? Is that the whole foundation's gonna stay?
Of the house? Correct. Yeah, we're not
What's being
changing,
preserved?
What about the walls of the first floor? The exterior walls of the first floor?
yes. You'll see on the, if you look at the A1 drawing in our set, you'll see that most of the layout actually is already there. I mean, there's an existing bathroom there, which we're preserving. Only the darker lines are the new walls. The lines which you see double and sort of thinner, not filled in, not shaded, those are existing. They're already there. And so only the dark line, like you see a patch, here and there, and there may be a little extension. It's pretty much the same existing footprint. And it's existing layout. The kitchen isn't generally in the same area, but yes, we're going to do a new kitchen. We're going to remove a wall. There are two rooms. Right now, there are 2 bedrooms there on the first floor. And so we're going to just keep one. The client's actually going to live there, they like to be on the ground floor. And then eventually, we're going to build on the second footprint, this is all new, meaning new walls, external walls. because right now this is cape, so we're going to have to build this up. So we're going to take the roof off down to the platform. We're going to keep the existing frame, like the existing platform, right? That's going to stay. So we're not taking, on the first floor, we're not taking any sheetrock down, keeping all the walls, lighting, pretty much all of that. We're just going to go straight up on the second floor.
And then you're finishing the attic? With
We have a
With
plan.
another bedroom and living room?
Yeah, we have probably not now, but this would be like, as a possibility, to finish this off in the
Is there a basement?
Yes, there is a basement, and we have a plan here for like a little rec room in the basement. It's less than 50%, actually way down.
And that's true for the attic too?
Same thing with the attic, yes. The attic is also under 50%.
Have you
As
had
you
a-
can see, the attic does not fill, the whole footprint.
Have you had a contractor or an engineer take a look at your walls and your foundation, and this is a doable plan?
Yeah, the walls, yes, they're actually in very good shape. They have been done actually with poured concrete. There's no water in the basement. It's not crumbling like some older
What
foundations.
is the foundation? Is it block, concrete block? The foundation,
It's actually poured concrete,
poured concrete?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
and it's in a pretty good shape. Well, yeah, again, you definitely cannot.
But
Okay,
has
so-
anybody taken a look at that? Has anybody taken a look at that and confirmed that?
Well, yeah, we did, yes.
You did that, or
I-
somebody
Yes,
else?
I did that
Okay.
with a builder, but I am a licensed architect. I can tell to a certain extent if that wall is
Okay.
suitable for, bearing. If it was cinder block, I would say, no, we can't, right? But even then, there are ways to deal with that without having to demolish the whole foundation. We've done projects where we put columns in the corners of the existing foundation basement, and then we built on top of that. So there are ways to get around that.
Mr. Chairman. How long has the split rail fence been there, do you know?
Well, probably since the house was built. It looks pretty old. It's actually in a decent shape, and I think Woody brought this up in the first meeting, that we should remove it, and so we're going to remove it.
Okay.
It does not block the view, by the way. I mean, DPW was there too, and they didn't seem to have a problem with it, but we said.
No, I understand that, but I mean, it's just something.
Yeah, of course.
Something about having the fence on property that's not yours.
Right, I understand.
We have to deal with that.
So
Okay.
we're going to take it out.
Yeah.
How about the outdoor grill? Who's that belong to?
Outdoor grill.
It's on the west property line. Jumped out at me, it's all the way in the margin.
Is there one existing?
Yeah, it's lower left. Just see,
I'll show you. It's
property line,
pointed that way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the neighbors.
is that the neighbors?
Yeah, I think so.
We don't, there's no grill.
No?
There's a portable.
If you're gonna speak,
It's a
please come
portable
up.
one?
Portable, like,
Well,
I'm
you have
sorry.
to come up.
I'm
You
sorry.
have to come up if you want to say something.
do you want me to? Okay.
Well, maybe you could show her what's on the drawing and she can explain,
Uh,
what is
There's
that?
no,
Please your name for the record?
I'm sorry, my name is Rita Bettino,
Thank you.
and there's no permanent grill there at all.
So
There's
it
a
shows up on the
porch.
survey though?
I don't know why.
This is yours or the neighbors?
It's not ours.
Okay. It's on wheels?
It's on, there's one on wheels that's like little.
Why would the surveyor
Is
put
there-
it if it's on wheels?
Yeah,
Maybe that was, I have no idea.
I mean,
There's
it's rectangle, it looks like a poured pad. Is there,
Right.
is there a concrete pad there?
No, I mean, there's, where is it? Because there's.
This one right here at the, so here's your yard, here's your back of the house.
What do you, did you
Fence.
notice that?
No,
I didn't look at it when I was
This
out
is
there.
outdoor grill.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. I honestly don't. We don't, that's not ours.
Okay, well, if we could get clarification, Woody, I don't think that should hold us up, should it?
No, if it's not a structure, then.
Okay. And then, Woody, you had notes for the in-ground window wells. What was was there a question there, or?
Well, they look like parts of the house, but actually because they're down in the ground, we do allow them in the setback space.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at A0, these are, you know, your typical window wells, which are below grade, meaning, yeah, they stick out about a foot, the wall, and it's just an egress from the basement. which-
Okay.
Chairman, I do have a couple of, if
Sure.
you don't mind, I'd like to clarify, Mr. Wikojinski, you said that that the house foundation would be preserved, right?
Yes,
And the first floor deck,
would be preserved,
and the first floor walls.
yes.
How about the second floor deck?
The second floor deck would be also preserved.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to take the roof down to
Understood.
its deck, so we're going to keep the sort of ceiling of the first floor is going to stay.
Okay, now in the garage wing, are you keeping the foundation of the garage wing?
That's correct. We're keeping the external walls. The existing walls, which are this one, and that one. The inside, you know, the corner, of course, we're gonna take that out to create the space inside. The existing garage door here is going to be filled in. And then for the slab, it says new slab because we're adding, you know, the garage floor slopes that way, so we have to slope it the other way. So we have to take that slab out.
So
and
the wall along Patricia Lane is gonna remain.
Yeah, this one, yes.
The two end walls, you're gonna close in the one where the existing one-car garage is.
Right.
Remove
This
the
one
door.
here, we're going to close it up because that's where the garage door is, and then we're
The
going
other
to put a
side,
new
you're
door
gonna
here.
open it up for
Mhm.
the two doors, okay. All right, I get it. Thank you.
What are the walls in the garage? Are they 2x4, 16 on
Yeah,
center?
2x4, 16 on center. Yeah, they're actually, the houses were well built, you know, it's the
Okay.
50s, they,
I've seen stranger things in garages, you know?
I know, 2x4s every 6 feet, yes.
Okay.
Woody, any other questions?
No, thank you.
One other question, on the new curb cut for the driveway, is that our jurisdiction? Or are you gonna have to go to Public
Yes,
Works?
go to
for
Public
that?
Works.
I already went to the Public Works.
Oh, you did that?
And, yes, Anthony from Public Works actually went out to the site.
Yep.
He looked at it already, and he said he has no problem. It meets all the regulations in terms of the cut, the width, the radius, you know, all that stuff. So, and his only concern was the sidelines, but that's why he actually physically went to the site. And he said, no problem.
I guess just for the record, Gary, you were asking about hardships. He has listed hardships in Schedule K as part of the application, which include the legal nonconformity, the undersized nature of the lot. It has two 30-foot front yard setbacks. Existing one-car garage is located within 6.8 feet within the yard. Proposed addition is about 21 feet. I still don't get that 21 feet.
Yeah, the lot, the existing lot is 9,478 square feet, so it's
No,
below.
no, I don't,
Your hardship number 4, the existing one-car garage is located within 6.8 feet within the front yard. Proposed addition is about 21 feet from the property line.
I was, okay.
I keep
so
seeing that
that's-
21
that's-
number repeating.
I know, so the confusing part, so this is what, I was measuring to where this red square was. I was saying, well, that's really what I'm asking for, 21 feet, that's
yeah,
the,
that's not right.
but that's not,
the right way
I
to
understand
measure.
that, so on my item K, that's not really,
Oh, okay.
okay, that's where the 21
Thank you
came
for the
from.
He's
clarification.
measuring the closest
Yeah.
of
Closest
the
variance
addition.
point, right.
Yeah, that's not the way to articulate that.
No, well, that's why the legal notice was written by, well,
Incorrectly,
with
too.
6.8.
Yeah, do we have an
So
issue
it's
there?
6.8, and the building is proposed to be
26.2.
26.2 with
Oh,
the
okay,
chimney
well,
at
you did the-
25.5.
Chimney.
If we grant this, we're gonna have to be clear so that
Okay,
something isn't
Thank
built to 21,
correct.
that the home, as opposed to the garage, isn't built to 21 foot.
Okay.
Mhm.
You also note that you will be creating a two-car garage. Presumably, that's a safety issue to have the cars off the road and
Mhm.
stored in a safe manner. And you are improving a nonconformity with the AC unit, and you are removing a nonconforming fence. So you've made some improvements to the nonconformities on the site as well, which
Correct.
is a good thing. Any further questions from the board?
No.
No.
Just one. Are you keeping the stone front in the front of the house? I believe there's a stone, is that being
I would
removed?
like to remove it as an
Remove it.
architect.
Okay.
Mhm. My elevation does not show it.
So that means you're gonna remove it?
He is going to remove it.
I hope so.
It's a debate.
It's
Apparently
one
it's a
of those things,
contentious
okay,
issue.
that's, because it does not really
Because that's
affect the
easier.
variance
Yeah.
part, so
Right.
I guess it could stay. I'd like to take it out and have it on clapboard siding, but I may lose that battle, we'll see.
Thank you.
The client is always right.
The client's always right, so whatever they like.
Except for when they're
of course.
wrong. Woody, anything further from you? Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to be heard on this application?
I'm sorry?
Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to be heard? No, okay.
Oh, I should add that my clients actually met with the neighbors. It was this last Sunday,
Yes.
and so they had them for a cup of coffee and some donuts, and everybody, some came out, and everybody was basically all for it. I did happen to be at the town hall when Vassies were here. They were actually former clients of mine. I was actually here for a variance for that project 2 years ago. And anyway, so they were actually here at the town hall. I was just here by accident, meaning I was doing something else with another project. So anyway, we reviewed the plans, I reviewed the plans with them, they were happy.
Great.
They really liked the fact that the driveway is going away. They were a little bit confused because when they saw this big hatch, it really makes it stand out. They thought that the driveway is actually staying, but it does say clearly to be removed. So
Great.
I think everybody, so far, it looks like everybody's happy, nobody's here.
Okay. Nothing further from the applicant?
Nope, thank you
Okay,
very much.
we'll go ahead and close the hearing. And since that was the only hearing, we will be moving straight into deliberations. Gary, you had a lot of questions out of the gate?
You know, thank you for pointing out those hardships. I think this is it's a big change to a modest home. I don't love the fact that the third floor may have living area. I mean, I think much of what they want to do is purely out of the desire of the homeowners, not really reacting to the hardships, which the hardship itself isn't really denying the use of the property in a way that would justify a lot of changes to this home. But they are improving some areas that should be improved anyway. I mean, fence on other people's yard and the non-conforming air conditioner should be improved anyway as a matter of enforcement, zoning enforcement.
I think that the, you know, the hardships are such that, and what they're asking for is fairly minor. I mean, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's a very high percentage of this work is as of
within-
right work.
Yeah, it's within, yep, that's true.
You know, especially the second story in the attic.
Yeah.
And those would be granted, you know, if they.
But for this level.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
so I don't really
That's an
have,
important distinction.
have trouble with that. I do think there's a hardship here. I think it's evident from the record on this file that the zoning regulations treated this property differently at different points, and in addition to the hardships that were spelled out in the item K. I guess for the record, we should, Chuck, to defer to you on this, but should we specifically state that we're including the presented materials as part of our deliberation?
I think, based upon what I've been reading lately, that we have to address each particular request for a variance,
Right.
specify what the regulation requires and what the applicant is requesting, and then find a hardship for each.
Yeah.
And then we have to, as a collective statement of the board, set forth what each and every hardship is for each and every variance. That's the way I'm reading.
Okay, so let's do that.
Decisions.
Yeah, let's do that here. So we've got three distinct items that they're asking
Right.
to build. There's, we'll take them in no particular order, but there is the roof line over the garage.
Right.
Which is only necessary because they want to create this,
Aesthetics thing.
no, create a two-car garage.
Well, the roof line, though, they can still do, they can still do that,
Yes.
right,
Yeah.
without, so I don't know that I see a real hardship there.
No, I mean, the height of the garage, in my mind, is not a hardship.
Right.
That, as I understand hardships. So I think they indicated they could easily keep it the way it is. And he could work with that, so I think the height of the garage is probably something that doesn't meet the standards
Yeah.
So
that
you
we're
don't,
supposed
I
to
don't
apply.
think, so you mean doesn't meet the standard of needing the hardship is the hardship. The hardship is the shape of the property, the corner lot, whatever.
Right.
The fact that the garage exists, what you're saying is that hardship doesn't justify an adjustment
To what's
of
already built.
of a higher roof line.
Oh, yeah, or an enlargement of a pre-existing variance. I mean, I don't see that.
So even for the second car?
No, I'm just talking about the height right now.
Right.
If we go to that little square here where they can square off the garage,
Yes.
to me, that's a little different. I mean, that's an open area, as I understand it, that's been created as a result of prior variance granted by the board. And, you know, I think I see that differently. And I think that, you know, one could argue a hardship there, since the prior board obviously found a hardship, allowing it to go 6.8 feet. So then from 10, then the regulations change back to 30. This, to me, is something that I think is probably, in my mind, a very modest request to have a two-car garage. And I think the hardship there would be the change in regulations and the fact that it's a corner lot and as otherwise stated by the architect. So I would be in favor of that, but I wouldn't be in favor of raising the height of the garage. And then we get to the sliver.
All right. You keep going, you're doing great.
I am.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, well, the sliver I think is fine. Again, you know, the house is there. It's a very minor request from 30 feet to 25.5 or 26.2, depending upon what measurement that we utilize. And I think that the house was built there based upon the regulations that existed, and I think an increase, and an upward increase is probably not a significant request, and I think the hardships would be the same. Corner lot, prior regulations, and a house built in accordance with the prior regulations.
And I think it's important to point out that you're not going any closer, that it literally is just that pie-shaped that is represented two-dimensionally on the site plan is three-dimensional volume going up, but that's the only area that's being built outside the setback. As you pointed out, Mike, a lot of the other construction could be 95, 97% of the construction, and the volume that
As of
they're
right
adding
construction.
would be as of right.
Yeah.
So it's a minor adjustment, given the hardship of the corner lot.
In the
placement
change
of
of
the
zoning,
house, and the
changes
of the
in
zoning.
zoning regulations, and I think, Chuck, the only thing I would add to that is on the box, if you will, that's being added to the garage. I'd say that there's a safety issue there. I think it's smart to have those cars off the road and parked in a garage. We've struggled with sites like this, with people having off-street parking. So this provides ample off-street parking. So I think that's.
And yeah, and the fact that square is, you know, it's not going closer
Yeah.
to the.
They've improved
It's coming closer to the house,
Yeah.
not going out closer to the street. And it would be utterly invisible to anybody driving by.
Correct, and to be clear, they've improved, well, if we grant this, they will improve two other items that are non-conforming.
Three.
Three, what's the third?
Coverage, they're improving the coverage according to the plans.
I don't think they are.
I don't think they can.
No, they're
No,
not.
Really?
Not when you add that
Is
pink
that
square in.
existing to proposed?
Oh, yeah, it's going down.
It's going
But
down.
how is that possible?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know,
I don't know,
according to the survey.
but good catch, Rick. So
It's still under 20%. So.
It is, correct. Yeah, and it's minimal, but it is, they are improving it.
Maybe it's Eve's. Okay.
Okay, with all of that,
One other question.
Sure.
How do we feel about the attic being finished? Is that something we care about? They-
It's actually almost all of that is with this, as of right.
As of right, right?
I would feel differently
if it wasn't,
if Mike hadn't pointed out how much of all of that really is as of
Okay.
right. So I think
and I bet you there's even probably an argument that the living areas, that.
As long as it complies
With
with
the
the
regs.
dimensions, the 50% rules.
Right.
They are as
It
of
is
right.
what it is, yeah.
And there's probably even an argument to be made that, because of the shape of that room, the living space is probably within,
Right, that's what I mean, right, the living space is as of right,
yeah,
or almost all of
yeah.
it.
The reg is 50% of the
Top.
second floor.
Yeah, they gotta
Yeah.
comply with that, that's,
Yeah.
okay, so I will, we're gonna need some stipulations here.
Yeah, but I think we need some clarification of this, that what, if we approve it, we're approving as presented where the garage space is filled in, but they maintain the height of the ridge line, that the building come no closer, the chimney come no closer than 25.5, and the rest of the building come no closer than 26.2, to clear up
Yeah.
the notice issue.
So why don't I make a motion to approve, and then we
Yep.
can start adding those stipulations in, because I
Fine.
think there's a couple. So I'll make a motion to approve with the stipulation, Woody, for clarity's sake, that the square that is gonna be built will be part of a structure that is 6.8 feet from the property line, and that the existing structures will move no closer to the property line, i.e. the chimney at 25.5, and the edge of the house at 26.2.
Are we denying the height of the garage?
Yeah, we're going to approve, my motion, unless someone else wants to make a motion, my motion would be to approve the triangular variance and the square variance, and not approve the new design for the garage roof. So keep it at its existing.
And I'm gonna interject.
Okay.
I don't agree with that, and the reason I don't is because I don't think, the house is going up, and it's gonna look disproportional to the garage, and I think aesthetics that don't really impact the job, the application, I don't know, it's gonna look weird, I'm just telling you, but that's just my opinion.
They don't have to do it if it.
They don't
if
have
it's
to.
too weird to them, I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Okay, that's just my opinion.
And could your motion include that they would remove the fence?
Yeah, so Woody, removing the split rail fence.
And Woody can stipulate what's gonna stay and what's gonna go?
Yeah, and Woody, I also want
Yeah, we
some,
should definitely clean that up. Are you satisfied with the statements on the parts that were made, the parts that are gonna be preserved? Sometimes you have a requirement that a structural engineer verify.
I
So
I
it
think
depends on
that,
the age of the building and how much you're convinced.
no, I think that they should, as with other projects, if they're not gonna do what they've said that they're gonna do, they should either come back and see us. They should come back and see us. Like, that's
Yeah, I
a
think
declarative statement, not a
I
question.
think we pinned it down to
I got it.
And then, Woody,
the AC unit they're gonna move.
did move the AC unit, correct? And I'd like some clarity on that outdoor grill.
Okay.
I mean, a surveyor doesn't just throw that on the map, so something's there. All right. Anything further, any other stipulations? Do we want to do that? I think they've been to Public Works. I think that they're going to have to do that anyways. They have to get those permissions anyways. I think that's out of
I
our-
wouldn't litter our
Okay.
stipulation with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that notice in our stipulation.
Okay, so, I've made the motion, those are the stipulations, all in favor?
All right,
It wasn't a second.
Oh, sorry, did someone second that?
I'll second.
Chuck seconded? All in favor?
He's got four, it doesn't matter, so.
4-1.
Abstain.
4-1.
I just think it's gonna look.
Congratulations. Yeah,
Did you bring me cookies?
I get that. All right,
Hey, Mike, we're still on, so what do we do?
yeah, I was just gonna ask, what are you moving to executive session now?
Yeah, if you don't mind, can we clear the February 27 minutes? We have any other
I
business
was not
agenda?
here.
Any other business? Are those the ones you circulated? Barb had a couple
Oh, yeah.
comments?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, those are fine, I looked at those. Make a motion to approve?
I wasn't here.
I wasn't here.
I'll second.
Vic, you and I, all in favor?
That's all you got?
Just two of you.
Is that enough?
That's enough.
Great.
Okay, then we need a motion to go into executive.
Make a motion to go into executive session?
Second?
Oh, second, yeah, there you
All in favor?
All in favor?
All right.
go. Aye, that.
Channel 79, we are going into executive